Okay. So in this part, right, we got something known as the four operation. So some of you may know the four operation as Bodmer's rule. So anyway, let's run through the four operation. You will have learned this in primary 6, right? So the four operation says that you should be handling your brackets first. Okay, the thing is, right, when you are doing brackets in secondary, there will be a variety of brackets. Okay, so in a while I show you. Then after that, you will handle the times and divide. Then subsequently, it will be the plus and minus. Okay, so in secondary, right, you actually got 3 types of brackets. Okay, there will be round bracket, which you know. There will be square bracket. Then you will have curly bracket. So when you got 3 brackets, right, then which one will you then which one do you handle first? So this will be the first bracket to handle. Then this will be the second bracket to handle. This will be the third bracket to handle. So you will see all these brackets later on. Okay, so round bracket is the first one. Second bracket is the square bracket. Third one will be the curly bracket. Okay, so while I'm doing all this, the rules that I introduced you previously is still applicable. So when you got a positive guy and a negative guy, it will be negative. So hopefully by now you have got that into your head. If it's double negative, then the two negative guys cheer each other up and they kind of become positive. Okay, so okay, when you are doing questions, right? This is what you will do first. You observe the number first. So for example, what is this number? So this is actually a positive 8. And this is the rule that I can apply. After I apply the rule, okay, let me see. So by the Bodmer's rule, by the four operation, I should do this part first. Okay, so I should do this part first, right? So as you are doing this part, what about the minus 10 and minus 11? So please don't touch the minus 10 and minus 11. Just let it be. You're not doing anything to them. They are just standing there. So they are standing there for you they are waiting for you to handle them. So just let them stand there first. Then subsequently, you apply the idea. Positive, negative becomes negative. 8 times 9 become a 72. So after your Bodmer's rule, you realize that you are left with all the subtraction. So when you are left with the subtraction, right, you do from left to right. Don't go and jump step. Don't go and do this first. Okay. So you do from the left to right. A bit like first come, first serve. So you handle this first. So negative 72, then you jump backwards another negative 10. So that will give you a minus 82. So this guy is still standing here. Then eventually my final answer, minus 82 minus 11. So that will give me a minus 93. So previously I did mention how you can think of negative number. So when you're looking at this number, you realize that you lack $82. When you're looking at this number, you realize that you lack $11. So in total, how much do you lack? You don't have enough. So that's how you can mentor the idea, or you can do the number line. So that's the presentation. Okay, the next one, you start to see 2 kind of bracket. You realize the square bracket and the round bracket. So as I mentioned, I should handle bracket A. So by the Bodmer's rule, I should handle bracket, but I got two types of bracket to handle. So I'm gonna handle this one first. And while I handle this, I got a Bodmer's inside this rule, inside the blue bracket. Do you realize? Do you realize that there is a Bodmer's inside this blue bracket? There's a plus and multiply. You got to do the multiply first. So you're gonna do the multiply first. Okay, do it very, very slowly. Subsequently, all the other numbers, you should just repeat it as part of your presentation. So eventually the bracket is just becoming a number. So you realize the round bracket disappear already. Then you handle the bracket B, the square bracket. So inside the bracket, it is 4 minus 47, a small number subtracting a huge number. So the square bracket is giving me minus 43. After that, I can apply the rule. The positive guy and the negative guy met each other. So you got a small number subtracting a big number. So that's how I get the answer. You can input the original version. You can input this whole thing to see what it return you. But you must input properly. You must know that you must input, you just input accordingly, but you must make sure you go and bracket it. But in your calculator, usually they don't have square bracket. So in the calculator, right, if you punch the bracket for this one, it will still turns out to be a round bracket. Okay, so you can try punching to see what happens. Okay, so usually in exam, they will be testing you for the four operation, knowing that some students will miss out certain operation. Okay, so subsequently, we got more difficult ones, whereby there are square and square roots. So that will be even worse. So when you got square and square roots, you handle the square and square root first before you decide to do any operation. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So if you got square and square roots, you kind of do it. You got a side column, I suggest. So for example, what is a 5 square? You can punch calculator. It will get you a 25. What is a 5 cube? It will be a 5 times 5 times 5. So that will be a 125. And what is a minus 5 square? You will get a minus 5 times minus 5. So if you're pressing calculator, you must press with bracket. If you forget to press with bracket, you will get the wrong answer. Because we already learned negative and negative will become positive. So if you don't bracket if you don't punch the bracket when you try to press the squaring, you actually get a wrong answer. You can try it. So let's say you forgot to put bracket, right? You punch like this, your calculator return you a negative 25. But if you remember the bracket, your calculator will return you a positive 25. So when you see square, cube, or square root, we will try to handle the number first. We will handle the number before we execute the four operation. Otherwise, I'm quite sure you'll get very confused. So after you observe, okay, no more squaring already, then you can observe plus, minus, times. So who should you attend to first? You will attend to the multiply. So while you are doing the multiply, the rest of the numbers are waiting for you. So let them wait. You got to be writing them. Okay, that is under presentation. So some people, right, their presentation, they will not write the 25 plus 125. Subsequently, I will do from left to right again. So I'll do from a left to right. And then the minus 250 is at the back. So while you are handling the 25 plus 125, you should still be writing the minus 250. That means the minus 250 is actually waiting for you. Then you got a small number minus a big number. So you got a negative 100. So you got to be showing the steps very clearly. Okay, so in the next one, you are going to see square roots. So I will suggest if you got things like this, you do a side column first. So square root 81, 9. Square root 100, 10. Cube roots, negative 1000 is a negative 10. So let's write the number first. So I'm not doing any operation yet. So, okay, after you disappear all the square roots or the cube root, then you look at the operation. Did you see a bracket that you got to attend to? So you should ignore all other things first. Handle the bracket. So when you handle the bracket, what happened? Positive 10 divided by negative 10. Positive and negative will become negative. 10 divided by 10 will be a 1. So you already handle the bracket. After you handle the bracket, what do you do? Do you do a 9 minus 2 first? Or can you see that there's actually a multiplication for you to do first? So multiplication, then how are you going to handle that multiplication? So the multiplication is a minus 2 times a minus 1. Negative and negative become positive. 2 times 1 becomes a 2. And the 9 is there. So negative 2 times negative 1. So negative and negative. So the final answer will be 11. So you remove all the square root first, then you think about the operation. Okay, so we look at the rules. We are still using back the rules. Positive and negative becomes negative. Double negative became positive. And this will be the for operation.